What's up, y'all? Welcome to Two Sticks. Today I'm talking about the real work behind building a movement. I saw this topic and I'm really excited to talk to y'all about this because it is a movement. What we're doing here at Beyond the Field is a movement. And as I told y'all in the first episode, I'm building building this to $1 million company. But the movement, man, the real work is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Not a full entrepreneur yet. Can't fully fund what I'm doing or hire anyone. But it's a lot of work. Even with AI, shout out to ChatGPT, which is like my business partner and does like 5 different things for the company. It's a lot of work, specifically podcasting. So I do 3 podcasts a week. You can find my YouTube channel in the show notes. I do a newsletter for Beyond the Field, player development newsletter. I also have a newsletter for this channel. So I'm going to do a newsletter for you all as well because I like writing and sharing what I wanted. But the real work behind the movement, it's a lot. I think a lot of people, man, it's a lot. Like I said, these are unedited. I don't script these. I just have the titles. I know what I'm going to do title wise, but I just jump on. But it's a lot of work. Selling the book, right? I got the book right here. Hey, the player development guide. Hey, you can buy it on Amazon, right? You see me in my Beyond the Field polo. I got a lot of great meetings today. Got some really good, important meetings. But the real work behind it is, it's a lot. It's a lot of long days. At some point, I'm gonna get some sleep. But for me, because I'm building a movement of player development. Player development is the enhancement of the athlete experience through holistic and intentional programs and initiatives. There's a lot that goes on in the lives of athletes. So this isn't like a personal brand deal or like me doing, something that changes slightly, right? So personal branding can change because all these platforms change, all these algorithms change, different things like that. But we're talking about athletes, and it's a lot that goes into that. But the real work behind building Beyond the Field, let me stick to that, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of sleepless nights. It's a lot of putting stuff out and not getting likes. And the other thing is sports. And sports is a different place, right? When you work in sports is not I don't want to say fully, I don't want to make it absolute, but sports is not a place where people are like, hey, man, I appreciate what you're doing. I got a lot of people that look at what I do. They don't like it. They don't let me know. They use the stuff, which is fine. That's why it's out there. But sports is that copy mentality. It's a lot of bravado, right? You got former athletes and everybody's got egos, and sports is a huge ego, really big ego place. And so for me, when I'm building Beyond the Field, I'm doing it. I had to stop looking at the metrics. I really did, because you'll get 20 messages. Man, that podcast was awesome. Then you go look at the podcast, the YouTube channel, you got like 2 likes, right? And so you're trying to tell people to like and subscribe and all this, right? And so the work, besides, I think the first thing I said, it was just a lot. It's a lot of time into it. The second one is I just do it now. Building a movement, I do what I need to do. A lot of that stuff is evergreen. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to put this out, and when people catch up, they'll come along. As I mentioned in the first episode, a lot of people think we may be financially further along than we are. Which is good. But we have had a lot of positives happen from podcasting, which is the biggest thing. That podcasting and YouTube and LinkedIn are how my influence is stretched. But now the real work behind building it, like I know that is growing, and there's a fear for me of growth, right? Because I'm very comfortable, like, oh, I just get in my house and I record this. They go purchase the book. I do a cohort every now and then, but now it's growing, and now I'm reaching out to high schools and colleges and thinking about hiring people. And, the Player Development Summit, which I put on an in-person event. I'm thinking about doing multiple in-person events. Now the Player Development Summit may be going to another city. So I think the real work behind it is just, it's a lot. It's a lot of creating content, a lot of creating resource and value for people. So in sports is a very, very different world. It's all about relationships, and you have to provide immense value for people before they pay. Immense. Like I know there's a 7-Eleven 4 that I heard Daniel Priestley talk about, and Google talks about. They have some book, Zero something. Anyway, but sports is even more. Like in sports, people like things for free. Yes. And that's one of the hardest things building this, is everybody wants it for free. And so the real work for me is I love the way Daniel Priestley says, I give the information away for free, but the implementation has to cost. And so when building this thing, I'm at a place too where I have to be comfortable hearing no from people and letting people know like, hey, like at this point, I can't give you anymore. I have emails where people ask me a question. I'll give them a question, send them to a podcast episode, and they want more. And I'm just like, look, past here, I can't give you any more. And so it's a lot. It's growth for me, right? Growth for me, not just doing this like, oh, this is a little hobby. It's starting to reach other countries. I got someone possibly coming from Perth, Australia to meet with me. So the real work is one of continuing to do the work and also growing in my belief, my faith in God, and then my belief in myself, and just doing like staying consistent. This movement is huge. Like player development is huge to me. And I really, truly believe player development is going to blow up in the next 2 to 5 years. And so when I have all this content, when I have all this stuff and I'm providing all these value for people who want it to blow up or people who want to know more, I just feel like that's great because they'll all come around, but it's a lot of work behind the scenes, right? It's a lot. Still trying to figure out, trying to find consistent revenue streams, consistent ways to make money, what products work, what products don't work. When I first started with Beyond the Field, I thought that people who were in the role would show up and get consulting because they would ask me questions. They would come and say, hey, man, can you help me with this? And then I realized it was the people that want to get in the role who pay. And so now I'm dipping into high schools. And so you're just trying to find everything. I think I like to try stuff. I don't mind failing. You got to want to fail. But as we build this into a $1 million company here in the next 5 years, there's going to be, I got to stay consistent. I got to be great with messaging. I got to reach out to people. I got to follow up. That's something that's big for me. I got to keep continuing to grow my network. I think sometimes it could be tough when you're in meetings and people are asking you questions you've done 4 podcast episodes on. So a lot of times I ask people, what do you want to talk about? And it's not because I don't want to meet people. It's because like time is really valuable. And so I could take that 15-minute meeting that someone's asked me about 4 podcasts I do, and I could record this, or I could record another podcast, or I could write, a newsletter or a new episode, or, I could be in a meeting with someone who could possibly pay. And so it's a lot. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit right now, but the real work behind it is just, it's a lot. I enjoy it because it's helping people. I just think the biggest thing I got to figure out in the next 5 weeks, couple months is how to find this revenue stream, how to make this go, to be consistent. But if I had to break it down to a formula, the real work behind building Beyond the Field is staying consistent, even when you don't see the vanity metrics. It's finding, financial streams. It's preparing for growth. I think we are going to grow and grow pretty big, pretty fast. And so starting to prepare for that, prepare for more in-person events, prepare for competitors, which is totally fine with me, because nobody's going to put out as much content as I do. So if anybody wants to put out player development content, it's great for me because everybody's going to come back to me. Right. So it's a lot of work behind it, building. I think the biggest thing I personally have to remind myself is that it's a step at a time. Nobody who didn't inherit money, okay, one day just had a company that blew up. It took some time. It took some days. And I'm having a meeting today because I made some content about 3 months ago and about 2 months ago. And so I'm meeting with a $1 million company about some things. And so there's a lot behind building it. It's different every day, but I got to create systems as well. So it's fun. I'm rambling. Thank y'all for tuning in. All right. So my 2 sticks of advice today. Number 1, listen to people who don't know you, but see the growth in you now, or who do know you. And what I mean by that, you can't listen to every single person. But for years, even before Beyond the Field fleshed out, when I was working at Baylor University, one of my coworkers, shout out to Quinn Jordan, shout out to Q, was like, hey, man, this is $1 million company. And I couldn't see it, right? I meet some people. I do some workshops here in Kansas City. And so just to help people prepare for their careers. And I've had multiple older women like aunties be like, yeah, I don't know what you do, but it's going to be very successful. And so I always appreciate those times. I'm like, thank you, God, because those normally come when I'm doubting. And so what I've learned to do is like, let me listen and let my faith in God show up like their faith in me, like let me believe what they're believing. So that's number one. You can't believe everything, but one stick will be like, sometimes people can see it and you can't. The second one is just provide value. I have 8 meetings today. After this recording, this is Friday. What day is today? Today is the 15th, August 15th. And so, just provide value when you're creating content. If you're creating content or whatever, provide value. I don't put up a paywall. Y'all know how some people do stuff and you got to pay for it. I just provide value. I give people as much as I can for free. And I would know that my free stuff is better than people's paid stuff. And so provide value. That's it. I'm rambling. I feel like I'm going on. It's because I'm excited about these meetings. It's also probably because I need sleep. It's also because it's a lot of work behind it. It's also because I don't create structures. I just get on here and talk. And so thank y'all, or I say a script. I just get on here and talk. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Check out the newsletters and the show notes. If you want to get a copy of the book, it's right here as well. You can find it on Amazon. Yeah, I wrote a book, y'all. How about that? I'm already thinking about my second and third book. That's my third book. My second and third printed book, which would be my fourth and fifth book. But yeah. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good weekend. And let me know in the comments if any of this hit with you. Have a good one.